In this video, I'll show you exactly what Ingress is, why it matters, and how to use it to expose your apps with clean and friendly URLs. We'll even trace the full path your traffic takes through the cluster. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So here's a more traditional way that you would deploy an application in your cluster, let's say running on AWS. So you have your worker node here, and you have two pods for your application, and you deploy a service of type load balancer. When you do this, Kubernetes is going to talk to AWS via API, and AWS is going to automatically deploy a cloud load balancer for you. This is a managed service from AWS, and then this is going to be pointing to your Kubernetes cluster. Now, in newer versions of Kubernetes, actually, when you deploy a load balancer service, now it's also going to give you a NodePort mapped to that service. So what happens to your client request in this scenario? So your client is going to request your web app. So it's going to type in the webapp.com URL. Then that is going to try to resolve via DNS. And then we're going to configure our DNS to point to the public IP that our cloud load balancer is going to have. So this is going to have a public IP. And then this is going to receive the traffic, let's say HTTP traffic on port 80, and the cloud load balancer is going to redirect that to your NodePort. That then is going to go through the kube-proxy to your service. And then your service is going to load balance that between the pods. Well, the advantage of doing this is that you have this component here that automatically will create load balancers for you. Now, the disadvantage of this approach is that for every application that you have on your cluster, you're going to need a cloud load balancer. So if you have another node with another application running on it, let's say app 02, and you deploy another service of type load balancer, well, this is going to talk to AWS again, and it's going to deploy a second load balancer with a second public IP, and you're going to have to configure your DNS again for your URL to then point to the DNS, to point to the new IP. And this is going to be port 80, let's say again. And then that's going to talk to that new node port that you're going to have. That's going to talk to your new service. And then it's going to talk to both your apps. These are services that are managed by the cloud. So for every load balancer that you have, you're going to pay a little bit of money for that. So now imagine that you need to deploy hundreds or maybe even thousands of apps. Well, this is going to become very costly. This is the problem that Ingress wants to solve. So what is Ingress? Ingress is how you expose your apps to the outside world using a single clean URL. It acts like a smart traffic controller routing requests from different services inside your cluster based on either domain or path. You can even add SSL with a few lines in a config file. Think of it as a built-in layer 7 load balancer or a reverse proxy on steroids that lives inside your Kubernetes cluster. Here's an example where we deploy already Ingress. Ingress has three basic components that we are going to take a look at here. One is the service, the other one is the controller pod, and the other one is the Ingress rules. So the Ingress service is the same as your application service. It's very simple. You can configure it as a load balancer the same way. This service is going to do the same thing. It's going to talk to AWS. It's going to deploy your load balancer with a public IP. You're going to have your URL webapp.com pointing to your DNS. And your DNS is going to point that to your cloud load balancer public IP. So now what's going to happen to your client request? Well, your client request is going to come here, going to go to DNS, is going to go to the cloud load balancer. Once it enters into the cloud load balancer, let's say HTTP traffic, it's going to go to the node port that got selected for your Ingress service. And then the Ingress service is going to redirect that to the Ingress controller pod. And this is where all the magic happens. So the Ingress controller pod is now going to read the rules that you created. The rules are very simple. You have a few options to choose from. You can redirect traffic based on URL. So let's say you have webapp.com. You also have video.webapp.com. So then the Ingress controller pod is going to take a look at your rules. So let's start first with webapp.com. It's going to look at that rule and be like, okay, I need to route the traffic to the web app service. So then the traffic will go here. And then from the web app service, it will then redirect that to the pod. So then we receive a request for the video app. Now the Ingress controller pod is going to read that rule. It's going to redirect that to your video app service. And then the video app service is going to make sure that that traffic gets routed to your video app pod. Now that's how you route based on domain. The second way would be based on path. So we have our webapp.com with the /, and we have the webapp.com/video. So then the traffic will flow in a similar fashion. So the Ingress controller pod will go ahead and read the rules, and then based on the relative path here and here, it will route your traffic to the correct service. So to your app service and to your video service and so on to your pods. So those are the basic components of Ingress. What is the advantage of this approach? The advantage of this approach is that now you only need to maintain one cloud load balancer, and this cloud load balancer basically is going to redirect all the traffic to your Kubernetes cluster. So this is going to be your one point of entry to your cluster, and then you can have hundreds or even thousands of applications running in here, and everything is going to be controlled based on the Ingress rules that you defined here. So now for the fun part, we're going to deploy this in a bare metal environment. Now, of course, we don't have AWS automatic load balancer creation magic that I just explained. So in this case, we're going to pre-configure a load balancer here that is going to serve the purpose of a cloud load balancer. And then we're going to configure our Ingress components here. Lately, I've been obsessed with computer science concepts like data structure, algorithms, and how AI actually works. And a fantastic resource that has helped me understand these topics is today's sponsor, Brilliant. Brilliant is a beautiful interactive learning app that helps you build knowledge in math, science, programming, data, and even AI. You learn through active problem solving, a method proven to be 6 times more effective than just watching lectures or reading books. Right now, I'm coding an app that I want to deploy in my Kubernetes cluster as part of implementing CI/CD in my home lab. And Brilliant's Python programming course and computer science fundamentals have been incredibly helpful in that process. They've also got fantastic courses on AI. So if you're curious about how large language models like ChatGPT actually work from a first principles perspective, you'll get a ton of value from Brilliant's interactive lessons. If you'd like to give Brilliant a try, head up to brilliant.org/distro-domain to start your 30-day free trial. And if you decide to go for the premium plan, you'll also get a 20% off the annual subscription. Thanks so much for Brilliant for sponsoring this video. And now let's get back to it. So now let's go to the terminal and configure all of these components. Okay, so we're here in the terminal, and the first thing that we're going to configure is, of course, our load balancer. So in this case, we're going to configure HA-proxy that is going to simulate our cloud load balancer. We're just going to configure a few things before we install HA-proxy. We're going to disable SE Linux, and we're going to disable the firewall. And this is just to make things easy for you to understand the concept. We're going to open SE Linux first, so vim/etc SE Linux config. And here we're just going to copy the disable flag into this option here. And now we're going to disable the firewall. Once that's done, we need to reboot the machine to apply all the changes. Our machine is back, and now it's time to install HA-proxy. So we're going to do dnf install HA-proxy. It should be already in the Rocky repos. We say yes to that. We're going to configure the HA-proxy configuration file. So for that, we're going to go to vim/etc/HA-proxy config.cfg. So we're just going to modify a few things here. First, we're going to comment out all the defaults because we're going to add our custom configuration for Kubernetes. And now we're going to copy our configuration. We're going to configure a front end here that listens on port 80 on mode HTTP and is going to point to the default backend, which is HTTP back. And then in our HTTP backend configuration, we're going to configure our 2 nodes from our Kubernetes cluster. This is very simple. You just type server, the name, and the IP of the node. And this is the port that is already listening on my Kubernetes cluster on my nodes for the Ingress service. This one, you probably don't have it right now. So you can just put one random one for now, and then once we deploy Ingress, we can come back here and reconfigure this. So then we just have the check configuration, so how many seconds it's going to check for each node, and also we have our balance, which we're going to go for a round robin configuration for this. So now we're going to save our configuration file, and now we're going to enable and start HA-proxy service. So in systemctl enable HA-proxy, all right, and then we're going to start it. Perfect. Let's check the status to see if everything is right. Perfect. So it looks good. Of course, right now it says that there's no server available, and that's because our Kubernetes cluster nodes are not up yet. But don't worry, this is what we're going to configure now. So now that we have our load balancer ready to go, we're just going to note down the IP address of the load balancer. In this case is 192.168.0.36. So I'm just back to my Mac. So we're going to configure the host file to mimic the public DNS. So we can do that in /etc hosts. Perfect. And as you can see here, I already have it set up. So I'm pointing my web-app.com to 192.168.0.36, which corresponds to our load balancer. Let's just verify. So ping web-app.com. And as you can see, we're resolving to our load balancer IP. I'll just give you a rundown of what we're working with here. So if we do a kubectl and get all all namespaces. As you can see, it's just a bare bone Kubernetes cluster, and we just have a CNI already installed there, so it's the Kubernetes system and just Calico on top of that. And it's 2 worker nodes and 1 master node. So we can do kubectl get nodes. So you can see that we have kworker1 and kworker2 ready to go. This is Kubernetes version 1.32.5. So now we're ready to deploy the Ingress stack. If we go back to our little diagram here that I was showing you guys previously on the iPad, the part that we're deploying right now, it's this part here. There are multiple integrations of Ingress and Ingress controller. In this video, we're going to use the NGINX Ingress controller, and we're going to use the community edition. This is the command that you're going to want to use. So we're just applying this Kubernetes manifest directly from the NGINX controller website. We're just going to hit apply, and this is going to go ahead and install a bunch of stuff. By default, the Ingress controller will deploy a few things like the service account, RBAC for access control, service of type load balancer, and now we can start checking the namespace, kubectl get namespace. As you can see, we have a new namespace called Ingress, and we're going to do kubectl get all -n and then Ingress NGINX namespace. So as you can see here, we have a few things that are already deployed. We have our replica set here, set to 1. We have our deployment, which is our NGINX controller pod. If you remember the little diagram that I showed you here, this NGINX deployment is this part of the deployment. And as you can see here, we also have our service of type load balancer. This part is this one here, the Ingress service, load balancer here. And as you can see here, we already have our port mappings designated by the load balancer. Excellent. And as you can see here at the very top, we have our pod. Of course, is also the Ingress controller pod here. So there's 2 components for this part, the deployment and the pod. As you can notice here, we only have 1 replica. This means that if we do kubectl get pods -n and then we put the namespace, NGINX, you will see we can do a -o wide to get more information. And as you can see, we only have 1 pod running on kworker2. So this is not what we want. We want to have 2 replicas of the NGINX controller pod. So what we're going to do next is we're going to edit the deployment to add a second replica to this controller pod. And to do that, we're going to do the following command. kubectl edit deployment Ingress NGINX controller, and on the namespace Ingress NGINX. We're going to go ahead and do that. And this is the deployment configuration in YAML format. So here we're just going to look for replicas. And as you can see, we have 1 result here. We just need to change this to 2, and then we save and quit. And now how do we validate that our changes are applied? Well, we're going to redo the get pods command in the NGINX Ingress controller. And as you can see here, we have now 2 pods running. One is running on worker 1 and the other one is running on worker 2. So now we have these 2 parts of the component of the NGINX controller up and running. Actually, before we deploy the Ingress rule, we're going to deploy the web app just to have a service in the backend that we can actually attach to. Let's deploy our app. So we're just going to create a new file here called webapp.yml, and we're going to paste our configuration. So here are the 3 components of our web app. First, we have a namespace. So we're creating a separate namespace for this web app. Here we have our deployment. So what do we want to deploy? 2 replicas. And then we have the containers here, the name of our container, the image that we want to use. In this case, I'm just going to deploy a simple NGINX web server in a container, and it's going to be running in 2 pods, replica 2. And then we have our service. And the service, you can think about as the service as if it was the network card of your pods. The service is just the part of the deployment where like all your pods connect to, and then this guy connects to everyone else. So that's how I think about it myself to make it easier. It's almost as like your service is a switch inside of Kubernetes. That's also how I think about it. Now let's apply this and see if it doesn't break. We're going to save and quit. All right. And then we're going to do kubectl apply -f for file, and then our web app deployment. As you can see here, we are creating a namespace, we create the deployment, and then we create the service. We're going to do kubectl get all -n namespace, and the namespace that we created was called web app. So let's look at our web app deployment. We have 2 pods. We have 1 service of type cluster IP. This just means that this application or this service is only accessible within the cluster. And of course, we have our deployment and we have our replica sets. If we want to make sure that each pod is running on a different on worker, we can do kubectl get pods. Oh yeah, we have to do the -o wide. And as you can see, our web app is running on kworker1 and kworker2. A quick summary of what we already have deployed. We already have our Ingress service. We have our Ingress pod, and we have our web app service and our web app pods. Everything that's left to do is to deploy our Ingress rule. Now we're going to create a new file. We're going to call it ingressrule.yml. So this is the Ingress rule that I created for this deployment specific. Since we're only running HTTP, the Ingress rule is fairly simple. So we just create kind of Ingress, and then we call it whatever we want. In this case, it's just web app Ingress. Easy to remember. Now we're going to deploy this into the web app namespace that we previously created. We're just going to add a few labels, a few annotations here. And one thing that is important here is the class. So if you install NGINX Ingress controller, it's going to deploy a class for you, a class called NGINX. Now, this is something that is new in Kubernetes where you can have multiple Ingress controllers dedicated to different things. They use the class to define which controller is going to take care of what. So here we need to specify that we want this Ingress, this type Ingress, to be managed by our NGINX Ingress controller that we just deployed. If we had a cluster where we had like multiple Ingress controllers that were different brands or different deployments, we would use this to control which one takes care of what. We also put it here in the spec file. So in Ingress class name NGINX, and here are the rules. This is the part that is fun. This is where we actually are going to create the rule. Here you can start by typing your domain. If you remember when we configured our domain web-app.com is pointing to our load balancer. This is the domain that the Ingress controller is going to read to then redirect to the app that we want. Now here is another cool part. Here is where you can configure your path. Remember the explanation about the video? This is where you can type something like webapp.com and then you can type video. It's going to use that path to then redirect to something else if you were very specific about where you want your video app or your web app to live inside the cluster. For now, we're just going to stick with web-app.com. And the type path is just prefix. And then here is where we configure our service. This is the part of the deployment where we tell our Ingress controller pod where to find the service of the web app. So here, that's why we say service, and our server is called web app. As I put here as a note, this is just to remind myself also of how this works. This must match your app pod service name, and this must match your app pod service port. So we just configure this like that. And if we actually take a look, where we're just going to save the file, we're not going to apply it yet. So if we now check our deployment, this is before we apply any Ingress. The service name that we just mapped is called web app. So we can just validate here. So this is our Ingress rule. As you can see, the service of our web app is here. So the name is web app. This must match this. And then our service is actually listening on port 80. So that's why we put port 80 here. Okay, so we're going to apply the configuration now with kubectl apply-f our Ingress rule. It works okay. So we're going to hit enter and that. And as you can see now, our Ingress is created. If we want to verify the status of the deployment of the Ingress, what we can do is kubectl describe ingress-n and our namespace of web app. As you can see here, our web app now is listening. Well, it's listening on port 80, and these are the 2 IP address of our pods. So that's awesome. It should be deployed and functional at this point. Before we try anything, we need to go back to our load balancer and adjust our ports. First, we're going to check what ports are we using for our Ingress controller pod. So kubectl get service --namespace ingress NGINX. So the port that we're looking for here is 31646. Perfect. We're going to copy that. And we're going to go to our load balancer, going to open our configuration of HA-proxy. And here we're just going to change the port to this one. Now we're going to restart the service, systemctl restart proxy status. Awesome. Okay, so that means that our load balancer is working. And now is the moment of truth. We're going to go in our web browser and we're going to type the domain of our web app. So we're going to go here. Now we're going to type web-app.com and moment of truth. And as you can see, we get a welcome screen from NGINX. To recap really quickly what we just deployed. Okay, so right now we have our HA-proxy load balancer deployed right here, and it's listening on port 80 for any requests. And the load balancer, as you saw on the backend configuration, is configured to redirect that to our worker 1 and our worker 2. So the client request is is going to go like this: webapp.com DNS. Then the DNS is resolving for load balancer here, which is 192.168.0.36. Then it's going to redirect that request to our nodes. So this one is 192.168.0.109, and this one is 192.168.0.111. This is our current configuration. Now the request comes in, it goes through our kube-proxy, then it goes to our Ingress service, Ingress controller pod, Ingress rule, web app service, and then it goes to our pod. If you enjoyed this video, you're going to love this one here where I finally switched to Linux for gaming. Check it out here.